U.S. wires Ukraine with radiation sensors to detect nuclear blasts.
Here's a summary of the article.
Shortly after the start of the invasion, Russian forces seized control of the defunct Chernobyl nuclear plant, which in 1986 suffered a meltdown that sent radioactive clouds over parts of Europe and locally left a wasteland of contaminated soil. The Russian troops dug up a nearby section of Earth, increasing radiation levels in the area but not enough to endanger workers. Continue reading the main story. The Russian forces also fired on and captured Europe's largest nuclear power plant, Zaporizhzhia, a complex of 6 reactors. A main Ukrainian site for nuclear research in Kharkiv, the sprawling Institute of Physics and Technology, suffered 100 strikes from Russian shells and missiles in the conflict's early days. The salvos damaged a nuclear facility used for the production of medical isotopes, but experts found no radiation leaks. In Kyiv, Russian projectiles hit the Institute for Nuclear Research, starting a fire in a warehouse. Ukraine's other atomic infrastructure includes additional power plants, storage sites for spent nuclear fuel, and facilities across the nation, including hospitals, that use radioactive materials for research and medical therapies.
This post received a score of 6,800, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
To me, this means the US absolutely believes that fucker is truly capable of using a nuke in Ukraine, and is trying to prevent it from being deniable.
Oh, there's no question if he's capable. The question is he dumb enough to?
Wonder what response us or entire EU will have if this happens.
The public threat was to destroy the Russian army in all theaters.
This right here. The US essentially warned the Russians that if they use a nuclear weapon in Ukraine, the Black Sea Fleet will be the new artificial Black Sea Reef.
Why stop there? I never understood that threat. Most likely Russia will launch a nuke from a land silo, no? I hope we do a lot more than just sink a fleet of ships. It won't stop additional nukes from going off. I think the idea is to avoid all-out nuclear war and hope this incredibly credible and consequential threat will dissuade them from using a nuke.
Putin using a nuke in Ukraine would ultimately mean the end of modern-day Russia. NATO tanks would be rolling across Poland's border within an hour of a confirmed detonation. It would give the US, NATO and the rest of the world a reason to go in, and completely tear down Putin's presidency.
They have to, or else Russia will go nuking other countries with impunity.
100% if Putin uses nuclear weapons and is allowed to get away with it, that's just going to embolden every other petty, disgusting despot to acquire and/or use nukes.
More than anything else, this tells me the US believes the upcoming counteroffensive is going to be devastating for Russia.
Bingo, my thoughts exactly. Could even be PSYOP, with the intention of making the Russians nervous that they're going to get steamrolled so hard that nukes are on the table. Which means occupiers might get nuked by their own side, which would make an unpaid occupier question his duties a little harder, hopefully.
I think it has a lot more to do with potential exposure and leakage from fighting, rocket attacks in Chernobyl and Zaporizhzhia. Detecting a nuclear blast is more of a, oh shit, look at that mushroom cloud.
You're almost certainly right. Nuclear detonations are detectable from orbit, from seismometers, and are absolutely unmistakable in their signature. As someone that had to study the emission spectrum of weapons for a bit, from literature of course. The risk of a nuclear power station or even just kicking up a load of shit from Chernobyl is a far more likely outcome than a weapon, and one achieved through sheer incompetence.
Didn't it already happen though? IRC Russians blazed through Chernobyl in tanks and kicked up radiation into the air, and it was being detected drifting with the breeze into other countries, so are something along those lines.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.